There you go. All right, can you get out right there? All right, yeah, leave it right there and just pop the hood. All right, what's going on, guys? So today we're gonna be installing a new cold air intake in the car. I always talk about how good the stock cold air intake on the GT350 is, which it is. But you know, I came across a deal, and I've been watching a lot of Alex's channel, Alejandro Flores on YouTube, and so I've been following him for so many years, and I always wanted to be a part of the PMAS cold air intake family, and I wanted to experience it for myself. So I mean, I have the stock cold air intake now, no complaints. I did in my previous video talk about this Roush airbox that I went ahead and put a while back just to combat the IATs and help it with the IAT because it's a closed box. But I came across a very good deal on Facebook Marketplace from a guy that had a PMAS no tune required intake for GT350, and so we're gonna be installing it today. This is the heat shield. This is the intake, and right away I can, by the way, this intake does come with a PMAS, a specific mass airflow sensor, and right away I can tell that the filter is very, very race inspired. It's a lot thinner than the regular filter from Ford Performance or K&N or whatever you're running on your GT350 stock airbox. This is a lot thinner, and I can actually see the light through it, whereas on the other one you really can't. So this is gonna be a unit that is gonna flow a lot more air compared to the stock one. And then of course the elbow, you know, the elbow is a big deal on these PMAS intakes. I think this is why the PMAS intake is so good, aside from the fact that the mass airflow housing is so well designed, so it gives the mass airflow sensor a very clear reading. But also this, I mean, this elbow is, you got the throttle body right here, and so you got this big elbow that is always able to suck air from a lot of different places from the intake. And so I'm excited to put it on. My car is got the Lund E85 tune on it, so I'm curious to see if by installing this mass airflow sensor, if it's gonna change the way the car works. Theoretically speaking, it really shouldn't, because this is gonna give the computer the right signal that it needs, but we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and start taking this apart, and then we'll install the new intake. Alrighty, so from PMAS, because this kit is used obviously, so I think the guy forgot to give me the relocation bracket that moves your coolant reservoir tank a couple of inches that way, so that way you can make space. But I honestly think it'll be fine. I mean, we got a little bit of clearance, so I'm just gonna put it down like this, and hopefully we don't have any issues. So right now, let me show you guys what I did. I went ahead and put the what is this called again? Heat shield, the heat shield in place. And I'm gonna just get a hardware that I have a bunch of screws and nuts in there. And there's one on this side that I'm about to put in, and then you reuse your stock hardware right here. So I'm about to get that put in. Then it's pretty self-explanatory. Then we have this hose clamp, and then we have the intake. And make sure that you use the PMAS provided mass airflow sensor to be able to get this running right. And so it's got a little arrow, obviously that's showing you where the airflow is going to be coming in from. So make sure that if it doesn't come already installed from PMAS, you got to make sure that you install it the right way, otherwise your car's not going to run right. So let me get a little screw. Good. Alrighty, so we got the intake hinged down already. PMAS provides you with this special tube that, because of the way that the angle that the intake is made, they supply you with this one so you can reuse it instead of your stock one that unfortunately won't work. And then everything is connected. This is connected. But one thing that I wanted to show you guys that is really cool on these cars, on all S550s, is that of course you have the little air duct right here that gets some air from the grill. And so what I want to do is I want to go the extra step, because I'm able to. This air box has this part of the tubing. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna reuse it right there, and I'm just gonna plug it in, just so that way I can ensure that when the car is rolling, it's getting as much cold air, quote unquote cold air, but you know, just to help it. Of course, this is not gonna seal as good as the stock air box ever did, but then again, this car does see a lot of mainly roll racing if I ever do race it, so I'm not too concerned. And then I'm also doing it just to try it out to see if I like it enough to keep it on the car. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on, and then we're gonna do the first startup and see if we can hear any difference, and of course test drive it afterward. Alrighty, so everything is good to go. First startup, everything is plugged in. Hopefully we don't have any leaks. So la verga. Alrighty, so yeah, we got the intake installed. Everything is good. No check engine lights, which is good. And right away, the first thing that we can notice is the air intake induction. I guess it's because, for one, the air intake is just like right there. You know, there's really nothing on top or around it that is making the sound go away. But also the response on when you first give it gas, right? I guess that's because of the bigger intake diameter and the fact that the filter is thinner, and so it's thinner than the stock one, so obviously the airflow is higher, right? And another thing that changes, the exhaust note is a little bit louder, and so right now I'm not wanting to go too crazy because the car spins. And it is a 93 octane, just because lately it's been kind of cold, and so on the 85 the car has been having really extended cranks. So right now we're out in Mexico, right? And we're just about to do a little hit. Right now I'm gonna get a little bit of a hit because there's a little like thing right there. We're gonna do a second gear rolling. I'm not gonna floor it all the way just because I don't want it to spin. Let's see, let me get a little bit farther. I don't know if you guys can hear the intake. Hold on, let me close the. I don't know if the camera is catching that, but sounds like a Hellcat. Supercharged. What is it? This bitch supercharged? Alright, here we go. Second gear. To guess from the butt dyno, right? The car is not pulling as hard as it did on E85, and right now we're on 93, but I'm, you know, I just filled up all the way, so I gotta drive it for quite a bit of time before I'm able to really experience the power with E85. And once I do, I'll probably well, I didn't test it 60 to 130 or anything like that, but would have been cool. But yeah, PMAS, the drivability is just as good as stock. That wasn't because of PMAS. I actually have a McLeod RXT, so the drivability kind of suffers a little bit, but yeah, it's a great intake. You guys should definitely look into one. Nick James is the owner and the guy who makes these intakes, and he's actually puts a lot of thoughts, and I mean, I think he's an engineer, so I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.